Okay, guys, you wanted this. Okay, you wanted this, so come on.
There you
Come on,
go.
Gabriel. It's your big idea. All right, here we go.
Ready.
Ready?
Ready.
Hi, friends. In Planet Earth Dating, it's Tuesday, April 30th, 2019. We have here the Wubby-Body-Mind, the Jamie-Body-Mind, and the Lynn-Life. In answer to a frequently asked question, why a Lynn-Life and only body-minds? And the answer is that we're all body-mind collectives, and we're supposed to be body-mind-spirit collectives, and that's where the disconnect has been happening in this society.
That's true.
And that's why we're making a lot of mistakes that we don't really want to be making.
We as a society.
We as a society and as a species and as a collective.
Yeah, that's true.
So the angels, for whatever reason, seem to think that after 29 years and a bunch of truckloads of abuse, that this particular body-mind collective isn't going to quit on them.
That's true.
Which actually remains to be seen. There isn't anything that humans can do to make this one quit, but
That's
no,
true.
the angels could make it happen.
That's true. There is a limit, you know.
There is a limit. So we're here with Wubby because because Wubby participated in an experiment that was being run by the Archangel Gabriel,
That's true.
and
Probably didn't know he was participating.
probably didn't
in it.
know. Did you know that?
No, I don't even know what that means. Can you go into that a little
He
bit?
doesn't know what it means. Okay.
I think we should go.
So we have. So please, may we have? Who's going to answer that question, friends? I think it's Gabriel.
Yeah, I actually do.
That's Gabriel, and he's
Known as the Archangel Gabriel in
Known
a
as the
lot of
Archangel
different wisdom
Gabriel.
traditions.
and he's really been reluctant to give up on humanity when a lot of the other angels have said, look, they don't want to do it. They don't want to. They don't want to give up their ideas of what they should be doing. They're not going to stop destroying the planet. They're not going to use the resources the way we tell them to use the resources. They're going to use the resources the way they want to use the resources. And Gabriel says, well, they've got to. They've just got to. There just isn't another way. And many of the other angels disagree with Gabriel. They say there are plenty of other ways. But Gabriel really insisted. He said, well, come on. We've got to run some kind of large-scale experiment. And so he found some guy who was reasonably psychic, who he could get through to, and just kind of pulled your string, and you did what he wanted, and
which is good.
Which is good. Which is good. Which is good. That's a good thing.
That's actually very
That's a good thing. Good for you.
I'm reasonably psychic.
Yeah, you're reasonably psychic.
Okay.
You would have to learn the skill, but it's like somebody who's got good balance and they can become a gymnast.
Exactly.
You know? So
Right.
you've got...
I have like a base level.
You've got a base level and you could learn the skills.
Born with talent.
Born with talent.
Ah, thank you.
So he was able to get through to you. Okay.
Yeah, which is really cool.
And he just said, basically, do what you did. And you did it.
You did it.
And now we have more data than we had before, but the data is all very consistent with the previous data
That's true.
that we've been gathering since, I don't know, it depends how you count it. 2014 we started posting these videos. 2007 started teaching the classes.
And the big guys upstairs say that they were running it in other ways for a much, much longer time.
Yeah, for hundreds
Not
of
trying
years.
to sound like we're the only ones
for
who've
hundreds
ever
of
been
years.
a part of this.
We're just what they call an observatory, like they can kind of look through us, kind of like telescopes. People say that her eyes
they talk about my eyes.
bulge. She widens her eyes, and what they're doing is they're having such a hard time.
The big guys
The big guys upstairs are having a hard time seeing into the world, and so sometimes they say, basically, you've got your eyes closed. Open your eyes.
Open your eyes bigger.
Open your eyes bigger. So
And it's not like I can hear those words in my head.
But
I'm
the
not
feeling
talented like that,
is-
but you get
It's
the
a
feeling of,
feeling
and
to
now open
open.
your eyes bigger.
And we don't
So you
even
just do it.
consciously do it, but you
No.
know, it's like
And then later we get YouTube comments of people
Saying-
saying, her eyes, what's wrong with her eyes?
Does this happen like even when we're not in a situation like this? Like, will you be watching a show and your eyes will?
We don't watch shows.
You don't watch anything?
No.
Absolutely
No?
not. No.
Oh.
So here's the deal. Humanity has already murdered more than 50% of all other life on Earth. This is scientific consensus. We're not making up these numbers.
No, that's not woohoo
And
funky stuff.
this is mainstream scientific consensus is that humanity has already destroyed more than half of all other life on Earth. And we're actually trying to make a difference. Actually, for real. No kidding, we're not. This isn't a joke.
And we don't know how much time we have.
It's
You know.
happening now. It's happening now. It's happening now. We've got to change. And so we're not wasting our lives. We're not spending time. There was some question, what hobbies do you have? Hobbies.
Hobbies.
We're trying to keep humanity from destroying all life on Earth.
The time for hobbies was so long ago.
That time has come and
So
gone.
long ago.
That time has come and gone.
So to answer that question, no, we don't have hobbies.
We don't have hobbies.
I don't want hobbies.
What are you guys doing to Oh, I'll let you do your thing.
Was the question answered?
Very much so.
Was
yeah.
it? I think so.
Okay, so do you have another question?
Yeah, I got.
Gabriel's still around though.
Gabriel's still
Rock
around,
on.
so don't.
So this is
yeah,
a good time?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
a
So-
good time.
What is a karmic record? You guys reference it in your videos.
Who's gonna
Okay,
answer
who's
that?
going to answer it, friends? Unless I'm wrong, they're still pushing that statistician forward.
It just
Is
says
it-
everybody's a weenie.
They're such weenies.
Or
Come on,
be
friends.
wrong.
Really? That's what you're going to do? Well, okay, so that's a valid point. And they're saying if it was a CEO of a corporation trying to explain some technical detail, and the CEO said, here, let my statistician answer the question, we would
we
understand,
would accept that as
right?
a reasonable
And
way
we
to
would,
go about it.
yes, we would expect that was acceptable. And so Gabriel is the one who has the microphone, and there's a bunch of other people, other angelic presences, other godly presences, all affiliated with planet Earth there, and some of them strongly disagree with Gabriel's position. Hard to emphasize strongly enough to get the fullness of the disagreement, but they're trying to come to a unanimous consensus, and so they're letting him kind of like hang himself, is what somebody's
That's
saying.
what someone
Hang
just said.
himself.
Oh, that's so funny.
And so, because Gabriel is still refusing to give up what's obviously everybody else.
Has already signed off
Signed-
on the humanity experiment.
Right. So, he's got some statistician who has spoken on film before.
Yeah, that's true. A number of times.
And the statistician is talking about the Akashic records.
Yeah.
And this is a term that many people are familiar with. And the Akashic records is kind of like a permanent library in other dimensions of activities that occur in denser dimensions, such as this one, in which we're having this gathering.
But psychic people on planet Earth sometimes have awareness of and are able to access parts of. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Go on. What are you saying?
No, what they were talking about is how the Akashic records, sometimes psychic people on Earth have awareness of them, and that's how the term Akashic records has come to be used in kind of a wider sense down here. I don't think that's important.
So the everything that happens in this dimension is observed by the angels, and everything is recorded, and the records are all kept permanently, kind of like permanent data storage of happenings, in this case on Earth, planet Earth, ground zero dimension. And they're kept in another dimension, and it's referred to as the Akashic Library or Akashic Records, and many psychics have observed aspects of the Akashic Records and they know it to be true, and this is widely understood in the psychic community. And people who aren't psychic, one metaphor is of colorblindness.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Colorblind people who might insist that the world doesn't have any red, that there is no such thing as red, fully sighted people would hopefully not be mean to the colorblind person, but they would know that the colorblind person was just ignorant or colorblind. Mm-hmm. And that's how non-psychic people seem to psychic people. It's like, well, I'm not going to be mean because you can't help it.
Right.
But
I know that that's real.
I know that that's real.
I can see it.
Because I can see it, and so can somebody else, and so can other people, and you can't see it, and I'm sorry for you, but
and you know
still
how it is.
exists.
Sometimes you can feel things that other people can't feel, and
Is that what's happening right here?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Are you guys feeling things that...
I'm listening to Archangel Gabriel.
Yeah, because he's still talking. He looks super embarrassed.
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
super embarrassed.
Oh, no. Did we do something wrong?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
So he's embarrassed that the data didn't turn out like he thought it would. And he thought that it was going to turn out different, and it's not turning out different. Instead, it's turning out quite consistent with all the previous data that he's been kind of disrespectful about when other angels have run experiments and they have said, look, here's the outcome, and he's been disrespectful, we'll call it, to their outcomes, and now his outcomes are like spot on to everybody else's outcomes, the same. And so all those angels who Gabriel was such a jerk to are now enjoying his moment of discomfort.
Yes.
So back to the karmic records. The thing is, everything is recorded, and our actions show who and what we really are. Everything we do is in the records, and when we die, as is inevitable, we're held accountable for our actions and for our inactions. And there seems to be some kind of collective agreement in human society right now that if we just hold hands and everybody pretend that that isn't how it is, that it'll somehow magically go away, woo-woo.
Yeah.
And that's not how it works. We're still going to die. And when we die, as is inevitable, we're still held accountable for our actions and our inactions. And it's fine. All we have to do is start being nice people and start doing the right things and start doing good deeds.
That's true.
And step up and take courageous, selfless actions on behalf of the greater good, and then our karma is good. And so instead of saying there is no karma, it really would be more effective to just try to build a better karmic record. I don't know whether or not that answered the question. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Do you feel that your question was answered?
I do.
Thank you.
We got another one.
Go for it.
In your cool and uncool trees video, you said people are crazy and don't ask the right questions, and I want to know, what are the right questions?
Real quick clarification. Who said that?
I believe it was...
Well,
Lynn.
so see, it's the confusing the channeler with the channeled message.
Supernormal, everybody does it.
Supernormal, everybody does it. So somebody upstairs, whoever was channeling in that moment, said that. People are crazy. Definitely not Gabriel, I can tell you that.
No,
but
so
look, you can see the person in the room that it is who stands by that assessment. He says he sits by that assessment.
Yeah, because he's in the cheap
sitting
seats in the back.
Yeah, but he sits by that assessment. Mm. And so the right questions. What are the right questions? Who's going to answer this, friends? oh, here's somebody coming, and it's somebody who likes you, Wubby, and who knows you. Might be a personal
That's true.
guardian angel, and is talking to you and saying
In a really nice way.
in a very nice way, and a really loving, encouraging, and hopeful way.
Wow.
And say, we remember that the questions we ask and who we ask them of determine the choices that we make, and we might be just asking them of ourselves, we think.
Thinking them in our head.
Thinking them in our heads. What am I going to have for lunch? What am I going to do tomorrow? And to instead ask, what am I supposed to do tomorrow? What am I supposed to do? Gets us thinking about doing the right thing. And we understand that this is diametrically opposed to society's mainstream philosophies.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
that's why we kind of live at as much of a distance from society as we're able to keep and do the work that we're supposed to do. But asking, how can I make the world a better place? Now somebody's stepping up and saying, keep in mind the frame of reference, that no kidding, for real, the great die-off is happening now. Now. It's happening right now.
Die-off of species on planet Earth.
Of all other non-human life on Earth. I don't know how they count in domesticated species, to be honest.
No.
Unclear about that, because there's a lot of domesticated life, and we don't know whether it's biomass or head count or beak count or whatever it is. How the studies are
The
counted.
die-off.
But we do know that it is mainstream scientific consensus. We haven't read the papers, because the scientific
Not
papers.
the full scientific paper.
No, we've read the synopsis. So, to keep that as our frame of reference, and to really stop pretending that we can continue to live like we always have. There was a question from someone, many someones, why did you shave your head?
Oh, that's right.
They're pointing to that question, and so to really put it into the context, the frame of reference, back in 2009, I had a good friend who was dying, and she was going through chemo, and her hair was falling out. She was freaking out about her hair falling out, which was like, Carmen, that's not the big problem right now. So we shaved our heads together. Actually, her husband shaved our heads in his laundry room, and we were both bald for 6 months until she died. And then in 2014, actually it was late 2013, but it took a while.
Yeah.
Do you hear it? They started saying, look, think about it like still another friend dying. It's not Peter dying or Vicky dying or Carmen dying, because they're already dead. It's not Alan dying, he's dead. But the planet is dying, and it really is, and it's happening now. And you seem to be having a hard time keeping your focus on it. You seem to be pretending that you can just keep on doing what you're doing. So maybe it would help if you shave your head again. And it did help, actually, because there was already that link of looking in the mirror and having the shock of,
Oh my God.
And also people, I don't know if you know this, but they do not react well to women with shaved heads. It doesn't go well. And so there's always that shock. Boom, 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 boom. So it was actually very helpful to remember, oh, that's right, the planet is dying.
Right.
So you shaved your heads as a reminder?
To help keep the focus on where it is supposed to be right now. And so back to the karmic records, everybody who's on the planet right now under the age of maybe 70, a vast majority have it in the soul contract, the commitment before coming into life, that we're supposed to do something, a lot of different things, but do something to get humanity to stop heading in the direction it's heading in, turn back around towards something that's sustainable. And everybody under roughly maybe 30-ish, approximately 30-ish.
It's kind of a gray area.
100% have it in their soul contracts. As so we can assume everybody here, all of us having this conversation, we have it in our soul contract to stop this, do something, and various people have various things. Like the original soul contract for that life was awaken people through theater.
That's right.
And we were supposed to awaken people through teaching energy healing.
That's right.
But it doesn't work. People don't want to awaken.
No. As it turns out.
As it turns out. And that's what the data is showing. People don't want to awaken. They don't want to do it.
Why not? Why don't you think?
Oppositional defiant disorder. I think attitudes are contagious, and I think it's in the cells and in the atoms. I think it's in the actual atoms, because it's not just humanity. It's everything. It's in the grass and the trees and the rocks. It's in everything. And so now what are we supposed to do?